Hey, I don't see it. Hallelujah. Okay. Just where we need it for the youth thing, so keep this plugged up. You put on plug on.
Gonna get a signal down there?
You started recording now?
Hey, you know the op trigger happy, man. You just made it.
All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom. Sorry about the delay. Something outside of my control. I got a flat on the way here, so that's why we so late. So I won't even go into everything that I was going to get into, but we're going to just pick up some of the misconceptions in the book and go into some of the laws and go from there. All right, we're going to pick it up at Deuteronomy chapter 6. Deuteronomy 6 and 4.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel.
Do what?
Hear, O Israel.
Hear, O Israel. Listen, O Israel. Read.
Yahuwah Eloheinu is one Yahuwah. Yahuwah our power is one Yahuwah.
All right, go ahead.
Yahuwah our Elohim is one Yahuwah. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might.
Anybody do that? All your heart, all your soul, all your might. Read.
And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart.
Shall be where?
In your heart.
In your heart. Read.
And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down.
And when you do what?
And when you lie down.
Go ahead.
And when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes.
So verse 7, he says, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall talk of them when you rest in thine house, and when you walkest by the way. What does this mean? That you should teach them diligently unto your children. When you talk about them, what does this mean?
Everyday life.
What does it mean?
Everyday.
Constant.
Every day. Constantly, right? All the time. Do we teach these to our children constantly, on a daily? Because it's actually a commandment, right? So this is an actual commandment that we're supposed to teach our children this stuff diligently every day, all day. That's what he's basically saying, all the time. And the best way to teach your children, what would be the best way to teach your children?
By example.
By example, right? By them observing you and what you do, that's going to be teaching them automatically. So they see you putting fringes on your shirt and they, what's that about? And you get to go into it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're supposed to be doing as a people all the time. Read.
Verse 9. And you shall write them upon the posts of your house.
Pick it up at verse 8.
Verse 8. And you shall bind them for a sign in your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes.
Go ahead.
And you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates.
So verse 9 says, and you shall write them upon the post of your house and on your gates. What does that mean? Read it again.
And you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates.
So write them upon the post of your house and your gates. Anybody? Go ahead.
Speak to them, but your heart and your mind.
Absolutely. Because this will be a whole bunch of commandments to get it right on front of, on the, you know what I'm saying, on the front of your house, and all. This will be a lot of stuff. They explain that. Pick it up at verse 8.
Verse 8. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand.
Upon what?
Upon your hand.
Upon your hand. So will we actually take something and write all of this on our hand? No. No, it's no possible way to do this, right? Read.
And they shall be as frontlets between your eyes.
Be as frontlets between your eyes. So imagine you can write all this stuff on your forehead. But we know that the Jewish people or the Pharisees took this to be literal, right? Because if y'all know about, they had the little thing they call a phylactery, where they took and they put some commandments in there in a little box on their foreheads, right? So they took this thing literal, but we know that they did everything for a show, right? Let's see that. Give me Matthew chapter 23 and verse 5.
The book of Matthew chapter 23 and verse 5. But all their Matthew 23 and 5.
So he's talking about the scribes and the Pharisees. Read.
But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries.
See, that's what it's talking about. Make broad their phylacteries. Read.
And enlarge the borders of their garments.
And enlarge the borders of their garments. So everything they was doing was to be seen of men. So we know over here in this law, this is not telling you to write the commandments on your forehead and on your hands. But to hear means to what? To obey, right? So if you hear him say this, that means you're supposed to obey it. So he says to write it in your hands and in your forehead. Your forehead represents your thoughts and your mind, and your hand represents your works. Your forehead or the mind controls the hands and the actions of what you do, right? Let's go back over there to Deuteronomy.
Verse 8 again.
Yep, pick it up at verse 8 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 8. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes.
Be as frontlets between your eyes. Read the mind.
And you shall write them upon the posts of your house and on your gates. And it shall be, when Yahuwah your Elohim shall have brought you into the land which he sware unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you great and goodly cities.
All right,
which,
that's good right there. Let's pick it up at Exodus, get some more understanding. Let's get Exodus 13 and 9. So, how would you get the Most High's mark, so to speak, in your hand and in your forehead? How would you achieve this? By doing what? By keeping the commandments, right? Exodus 13 and 9.
Exodus chapter 13 and verse 9. And it shall be for a sign unto you.
It shall be for what?
A sign unto you.
So we know that if you look at this word sign, it'll come out to be mark. Read.
And it shall be for a sign unto you upon your hand, and for a memorial between your eyes, that Yahuwah's law may be in your mouth.
So that Yahuwah's what?
Law may be in your mouth.
So this law is a mark that it'll be in your mouth, in your heart, in your mind, everything. Jump to verse 16.
Verse 16. And it shall be for a token upon your hand.
Upon what?
Upon your hand.
There you go again. Upon your hand, meaning your actions. Read.
And for frontlets between your eyes.
The mind again. Read.
For by strength of hand, Yahuwah brought us forth out of Egypt.
All right, stop right there. Deuteronomy chapter 11 and 18. Deuteronomy 11 and 18.
Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 18. Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they may be as frontlets between your eyes.
Is what?
As frontlets between your eyes.
Now, just understanding this stuff out of the law, this should make us have some understanding of somebody else saying something about your hand and your forehead. Where can we go find something else about a hand and the forehead? Revelations, right? Just off this should make us understand something about this. Give me Revelations 20 and 4.
Book of Revelations, chapter 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yeshua, and for the word of Yah, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark.
Neither did what?
Had received his mark.
Neither received his mark or his sign. Read.
Upon their foreheads.
Upon where?
Upon their foreheads.
Upon their foreheads, and where else?
Or in their hands.
Or in their hands. So, how do we get the Most High's mark again? Keep his what? Keep his commandments, keep his laws. But how would we get the beast mark if we do what?
Worship the beast.
Worship him if we do what he say do. It's not a physical thing, right? Because it's not a physical thing over here. Now, I'm not telling you to go and somebody say, I got a microchip to put in you, right? I'm not telling you to do that. But this is showing you that this is a spiritual thing. If you worship this guy, if you follow what he say do, you're going to get the mark automatically. Because it's just like what he's doing over here, out of the law. Revelations 14 and 9.
Revelations chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third Malach followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead,
Do
or
what?
and receive his mark in his forehead.
Receive his mark in his forehead. That must mean you're going to obey him. You must going to do what he say do. The Most High says, you shall have no other Elohim before me, right? So guess what? If you do what he say, you're going to be breaking that. Automatically, you got the mark. Read.
And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture.
Poured out without what?
Without mixture.
Without mixture. He like everything to be pure, right?
Straight up, no chaser.
Straight, right? Everything to be pure. He say, I'm going to give it to you without mixture. I'm going to give it all to you if you do this. But that's why he got this angel flying over to give you a warning, the final warning not to do this, right? All right. So, let's get Luke chapter 22. Now we go into some misconceptions of the book. Luke chapter 22, 17.
The book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 17. And he took the cup and gave thanks and said, take this and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine.
The fruit of what?
Of the fruit of the vine.
Fruit of the vine. I want y'all to keep that in your mind. He said the fruit of the vine. Read.
Until the kingdom of Yah shall come. And he took bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave it unto them, saying, this is my body, which is given up for you. This do in remembrance of me. Likewise also the cup after supper, saying, this is the cup. This is the New Testament. This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. But behold, the hand of him that betrays me is with me on the table.
So right here, he just used some references that a lot of people that don't believe in the New Testament, they use this in order to say that this is false, right? Anybody see what they use to say that the New Testament is false? Right here. Anybody? Read that verse 20 again.
Likewise also the cup after supper, saying, this cup is the New Testament of my blood.
Of my what?
Of my blood.
Read.
Which is shed for you. But behold, the hand of him that betrays me is with me on the table.
So he said that this is the New Testament of my blood, right? What does the law say about blood? Eating blood or drinking blood. Not supposed to do that, right? So why would the Messiah use language like this? Because when the Old Testament only Israelites ask this question, they never can get a response to what you're supposed to do. See, I told you this is fake. The law says you're not supposed to do this, right? So if we believe in the Messiah, we should know how to defend him, right? Give me, hold what we got. Give me Genesis 9 and 4. Genesis 9 and 4.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat.
So he tells us plain and simple right here. We're not supposed to eat no blood, right? Give me Leviticus 3:17.
Leviticus chapter 3 and verse 17. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that you eat neither fat nor blood.
Eat what?
Neither fat nor blood.
Eat neither fat nor blood. So again, they will take these and they will twist this up and say, y'all, Messiah says that you can eat blood. Right? And this will shake the average person because they don't know how to break this down and show what this is really, really talking about. Give me Mark 14. Mark chapter 14. Pick it up at verse 22.
The book of Mark chapter 14 and verse 22. And as they did eat, Yeshua took bread and blessed and brake it and gave to them and said, take, eat. This is my body.
This is what?
This is my body.
This is my body. So he's comparing this bread to his body. Read.
And he took the cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank it. And he said unto them, this is my blood of the new covenant.
This is what?
My blood of the new
So he
covenant.
gave him a cup and said, this is my blood of the new covenant. According to what we read in the law, if you don't understand this, it sounds like he's saying to break the law, right? Read.
Which is shed for many.
Which is said for what?
For many.
Only the Israelites.
For many.
Go ahead.
Truly, I say unto you, I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine.
Fruit of the what?
Of the fruit of the vine.
Fruit of the vine. So he's actually telling you right here what he's talking about. But they skip all past this and say, he's talking about blood. Now he just told you fruit of the vine, right? We'll see in a minute. 1 Corinthians 11 and 25.
First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 25. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the new covenant in my blood. This do you as oft as you drink.
All right. So they use all of these verses, and of course this is coming from Paul, so that makes extra confusion to them. But through thy precepts we get what?
Understand?
Give me Proverbs. So we're going to see that blood or bread and wine is symbolic of knowledge and understanding. Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 5.
The book of Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 5. Come, eat of my bread.
Do what?
Eat of my
He
bread.
says, come and eat of my bread. Read.
And drink of my wine which I have mingled.
And do what?
Drink of my wine which I have mingled.
So he says, and drink of my wine which I have mingled. Come eat of my bread. Drink of my wine which I have mingled. Now remember in Revelations he said he's going to pour it out without what? Without mixture. Right here he says this is mingled, meaning it's mixed, right? Man. Read that again.
Come, eat of my bread, and drink of my wine, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish, and live, and go in the way of understanding.
And do what?
Go in the way of understanding.
Go in the way of understanding. So we know that this law is your way of understanding, right? So let's go back to the Luke 22. Pick it up at verse 19. We got to walk it through and break it down.
Luke 22 and 19. And he took bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave unto them, saying, This is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me.
This do in remembrance of me. So he said, this is my body, right? So we see that bread is knowledge and understanding. The wine goes with the insight of understanding. Give me Deuteronomy 8:3. It's gonna make sense in a minute. Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 3.
Deuteronomy 8:3.
So you see he's speaking symbolically and metaphorically, right? Read.
And he humbled you, and suffered you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you knowest not, neither did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread only.
Does not live by what?
By bread only.
Man does not live by bread only, but by what?
But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah.
Every what?
Every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah.
What is the Messiah?
The word.
The word, right? So he says, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word. So if he the word, he says, take and eat. We'll see in a minute. We'll see how it go together in a minute. It's a beautiful thing. Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 3. And he humbled you, and suffered you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you knewest not, neither did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah.
But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. John 1 and 14. John 1 and 14.
John chapter 1 and verse 14. And the word was made flesh.
The word was made what?
Was made flesh.
Take, eat. This is my body. This is the bread, right? He said the word was made flesh. Read.
And dwelt among us. And we beheld his esteem, the esteem as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace.
Full of what?
Full of grace.
Full of grace. John chapter 12 and verse 49.
The book of John chapter 12 and verse 49. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what should I say, and what I should speak.
So he's speaking only what the Father told him to speak. Nothing of himself. Only what's given to him. Read.
And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak.
So they will say, well, he adding stuff and doing this. No, he told you, I only speak what the Father told me to speak. He doesn't say nothing outside of that. Only what Yah tells him to speak, right? He don't add, he don't take away. He know that's against the law. Matthew 5:17.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
To do what?
Fulfill.
To fulfill. So he told you, I ain't come to stop the law from going forth. I came to fulfill it. Everything that's written, I came to do it. Not to add to it, not to take away. If cats actually study the law, they would know this stuff, right? So he is the walking Torah, or quote unquote, the bread from heaven. So when he's saying to come and eat of my body, this is what he's talking about. He is the bread, or the Torah. We're going to continue to walk it. All right? Get me John chapter 6 and 26.
The book of John, chapter 6 and verse 26. Yeshua answered them and said, Truly, truly, I say unto you, you seek me, not because you saw the miracles, but because you did eat of the loaves and were filled.
You did what?
Did eat of the loaves and were filled.
You ate of the loaves and were filled. Read.
Labor not for the meat which perish, but for that meat which endure unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him have Yah the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do, that we might work the works of Yah? Yeshua answered and said unto them, This is the work of Yah, that you believe on him.
That you do what?
Believe on him.
That you believe on him. Read.
Who he hath sent. And they said therefore unto him, What sign showeth you then, that we may see and believe you? What do you work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from Shamayim to eat. Then Yeshua said unto them,
Quoting Deuteronomy 8. Go ahead.
Truly, truly, I say unto you, Moshe gave you not that bread from Shamayim, but my Father gives you the true bread from Shamayim.
Give you the what?
The true bread from Shamayim.
Gave you the true bread from Shamayim. So he told you in the beginning of this that you came to see this because you ate of these loaves. But now I'm telling you that this ain't going to do it for you. Only the bread from Shamayim is going to sustain you forever and give you everlasting life. Not this bread that you eating on this table. This is temporary, right? Read.
For the bread of Yah is he which come down from Shamayim and give life unto the world.
And do what?
And give life unto the world.
Go ahead.
Then said them unto him, Master, evermore give us this bread.
Oh, now you want this bread. Because you see that this can give you what? Everlasting life. Read.
And Yeshua said unto them, I am the bread of life.
I am what?
I am the bread of life.
Take, eat. This is my body, right? Explain it to you right now. I'm the bread. If you don't eat this Torah, you know what I'm saying? You won't get eternal life. Take, eat. This is my body. That's how we got to get understanding through the precepts. You can't just read something in one place. You're going to get messed up. You're going to reject the one that he sent to save you. Don't make sense. Your house on fire and the fireman come out. No, go away from here, fireman. Stupid, right? That's what you're doing. Read.
And Yeshua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that comes to me shall never hunger, and he that believes on me shall never thirst.
He said what?
He that believes on me shall never thirst.
He that believes on me shall never hunger, and he that believes on me shall never thirst. So he offered them two things at that table, right? Both bread and wine, right? He equated it to his body and to his blood, right? Read.
But I say unto you, that you also have seen me, and believe not.
You what?
Also have seen me, and believe not.
You have seen me, but you believe not. Oh, let's get me John 5 and 46.
The book of John, chapter 5, and verse 46.
Pick it up at 45.
45. Do you think that I will accuse you to the Father? There is one that accuses you, even Moshe in whom you trust. For had you believed Moshe, you would have believed me. For he wrote of me.
For he did what?
For he wrote of me.
For he wrote of me. For he says, for have you had believed in Moses, you would have believed in me. For he wrote of me. So guess what he's telling them? You don't believe in what? You don't believe in the Torah. You don't believe in the law. What you sitting up here trying to act like you upholding, you really don't believe in it. Because if you knew the law, you would believe in him because it's all about him. 47.
Verse 47. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
Read that again.
But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
If you don't believe his writings, how shall you believe my words? Because they didn't believe. That's how. Let's come back to that John 6. Where do we leave off at?
6 and 47.
All right, pick it up from there.
5 and 47.
No, we're going back to John 6.
No.
What verse we left? All right, pick it up right. I think it was 45. Okay, go ahead.
John chapter 6 and verse 36. But I say unto you that you also have seen me and believe not. All that the Father gives me shall come to me, and him that comes to me I will in no wise cast out. For I came down from Shamayim.
Came down from where?
From Shamayim.
From Shamayim, read.
Not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which have sent me, that of all which he have given me I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day.
What day?
The last day.
At the last day. So you rejecting the one that can raise you up at the last day. How idiotic. Read.
And this is the will of him that sent me, that every one which sees the Son and believes on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. And the Jews then murmured at him.
They did what?
Murmured at him.
They complained at him. Read.
Because he said, I am the bread which came down from Shamayim. And they said, Is not this Yeshua, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then?
That's Mary's boy.
Right. How is it then that he says, I came down from Shamayim? Yeshua therefore answered and said unto them, Murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me, except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of Yah. Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of the Father come unto me. Not that any man have seen the Father, save he which is of Yah. He have seen the Father. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believes on me has life everlasting. And I am that bread of life.
I am what?
That bread of life.
I am the bread. I am the Torah of life. So this whole thing, he's trying to show them that he is the walking Torah. I'm it in the flesh, walking amongst you, trying to show you how to walk and trying to do everything that Yah has for you. But they don't get it. Give me Malachi chapter 2. Pick it up at verse 5.
The book of Malachi chapter 2 and verse 5.
Because he is the high priest, right? After the order of who? Go ahead.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 5. My covenant was with him.
Was with who?
Was with him.
Was with him. Not them, but with him. Read.
Of life and peace. And I gave them to him.
Gave who?
Them to him.
Gave them to him. But they'll say, oh no, it's telling you them to him, right? Read.
And I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name.
Go ahead.
And the law of truth was in his mouth.
The what?
The law of truth was in his
The
mouth.
law of truth was in his mouth. The Levitical priesthood, they messed up all the time, right? Read.
And iniquity was not found in his lips.
Oh, so he didn't lie? None of this. Iniquity was not found in his lips. Aaron had messed up all the time. Read.
He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from
He
iniquity.
did what?
Did turn many away from
He
iniquity.
turned many away from iniquity. How did he do that? Read.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
To do what?
Should keep knowledge.
So the priest's lips supposed to do what?
Keep knowledge.
Keep knowledge. Read.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
Do what?
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
So if you want to understand the law, you should seek it where?
At his mouth.
Whose mouth is this? So you're supposed to seek it from him. If you want to get understanding, you're supposed to go to this priest. Not Aaron and them, because they messed up all the time. Somebody don't know the law. Read that verse 7 again.
Verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth.
Seek the law at his mouth. Read.
For he is the messenger of Yahuwah of hosts.
He is the messenger of Yahuwah of hosts. What's another word they put in there for messenger sometimes?
Malak.
The Malak.
Angel.
In English, what is it?
Angel.
Angel. So it's saying he is the Malak, or the messenger, or the angel of Yahuwah. So we can go through this book and show all through here. He sent this one special angel or Malak to do a whole bunch of things all through the book. So we see priest's lips supposed to keep knowledge and speak nothing but the law. That's what he was doing. Give me Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31:31.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 31. Behold, the days come, says Yahuwah, that I will make a new covenant.
I will make a new covenant, or a renewed covenant. Read.
I will make a renewed covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand.
Not according to the law. Did he say the law? Oh, he says the covenant, right? So it's the same law, but under a new covenant, right? Keep that in mind. Not the law, but a new covenant, or a renewed covenant. Read.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith Yahuwah. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
This shall be the law.
This shall be the covenant
Go ahead.
that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, says Yahuwah, I will put my law in their inward parts.
I will do what?
Put my law in their inward
I will
parts.
put my law in their inward parts. What would be the inward part? Heart, mind, right? All work together, right? Read.
And will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahuwah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them.
So does everybody know him right now? But we know we in the new covenant. It's like an in-between stage right now, right? because we still teaching people, you know what I'm saying, at this moment. When this takes full effect, it won't be no more of this because he going to drop the law from Zion himself, right? So we see what it means to have this written in your inward part. It means to be in your heart, right? Let's get Ezekiel 36. Pick it up at verse 26.
Ezekiel 36 and verse 26. A new heart also will I give you.
I'll give you what?
A new heart also will I give you.
A new heart also will I give you. Got to give you something because everything is so corrupt and nasty right now. Got to give you a new one. Not literally, but we see. Read.
And a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh.
What kind of heart?
The stony heart.
That stony heart. What was the commandments written on?
Stone.
Stone, right? So I'm going to give you a new heart. Put it inside of you. Not of stone this time. I'm going to put it in you. And a new spirit. That's where you're going to want to keep it. You're going to want to do it now. Read.
A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh.
Do what?
Take away the stony heart out of your flesh.
Take away the stony heart out of your flesh. Go ahead.
And I will give you a heart of flesh.
A heart of what?
A heart of flesh.
Go ahead.
And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes.
So when he do this, he's going to cause you to walk in his statutes. Now all the people that seek to do his law, his commandments, but sometimes the flesh get in the way and make you weak. When he do this, you will be able to do it. You'll be able to do it, but you're already going to be trying to do it in the first place to get this new heart and this new spirit, because if you're not, it's a hot place waiting. Right? Finish that out.
Verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them.
And do what?
And do them.
Keep my judgments and do them, because now you will be renewed in a renewed covenant. The law will be in your heart and your mind, and you will be able to do it. Now let's get to the blood part, right? 1 Corinthians 11 and 25.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 25. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this is the new covenant in my blood.
In my what?
In my blood.
In my blood. So we handled the bread part. We know that Hamashiach is the bread. So let's handle the blood part. All right. To get me Leviticus chapter 7 and verse 26. Leviticus 7 and 26.
Leviticus chapter 7 and verse 26. Moreover, you shall eat no manner of blood.
You shall what?
Eat no manner of blood.
You shall eat no manner of blood. Finish it out.
Whether it be of fowl or of beast in any of your dwellings. Whatsoever soul it be that eats any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people.
Even that soul shall be cut off from his people. Leviticus 17 and 10. Leviticus 17 and 10.
Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eat any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes an atonement for the soul. The blood that makes the an atonement for the soul.
So again, he's telling us, eat no blood. If you do this, you will be cut off. Deuteronomy 12:23.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 23. Only be sure that you eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and you may not eat the life with the flesh.
Plain and simple, right? So let's understand this blood. What Mashiach is talking about. Genesis 49 and 11. Genesis 49 and 11. Because he says, henceforth I will drink no more of the what? Fruit of the vine. Genesis 49 and 11.
Genesis 49 and 11. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his donkey unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine.
In what?
In wine.
Washed his garments in wine. What is that talking about? Why would you wash your garment in wine? Take some. Get that. Wash your garment in wine? I mean, in wine? Let's see. Keep going.
Binding his foal unto the vine, and his donkey unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
In the blood of what?
In the blood of grapes.
In the blood of grapes. Grapes got blood in them? Wow. Where we reading this from? Is this the New Testament we're reading in right now?
No.
Old Testament, right? Oh, okay. I was making sure. Making sure it's the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 32 and 14. Deuteronomy 32 and 14 said he washed it in the blood of grapes. He called it wine, though.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 14. Butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And you did drink the pure blood of grapes.
The pure blood of what?
Of grapes.
The pure blood of grapes. You drank it, right? He said you did drink the pure blood of grapes. But how do you get wine? How is wine made?
The wine press.
You do what to it?
Step on it. Press.
Step on it, right, and press it.
Yeah.
I only drink wine of babies when babies have stomped it. I was just joking. But let's see something. So they will take the Messiah saying this in a metaphoric way and say, y'all know that ain't right. Why would he even use something like this? But if we could find something in the Old Testament of him saying to drink blood, should they throw the Old Testament away too, right?
Well,
Throw the book away, right? Let's give me Numbers 23. Numbers 23 and 23.
Numbers chapter 23 and verse 23. Numbers chapter 23 and verse 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob.
Against who?
Against Jacob.
Go ahead.
Neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel.
So it's talking about Jacob and of Israel, both houses, right? Read.
What have Yah wrought? Behold, people shall rise up.
The who?
The people shall rise up.
The people shall rise up. Read.
As a great lion.
As a what?
As a great lion.
As a great lion. Read.
And lift up himself as a young lion.
As a what?
As a young lion.
Same thing to talk about in Genesis 49. Read.
He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey.
Eat of what?
Eat of the prey.
And do what?
And drink the blood of the slain.
Wait a minute. This in the Old Testament. Told him to drink the blood. Something wrong. Something is wrong. Throw this away. Throw the whole book away. Get rid of the whole book, right? Because it said over here. But it's speaking in the metaphorical term. And it told you it's talking about the people. Same thing Amasiak is doing. So, if you're going to be fair and your weight is balanced, then throw the whole book away. Don't come on this side of the book and try to pick something, and then I can show you over here, but you'll overlook it. That's not right. Your balances is off. Your weights ain't just. Let's continue to deal with the blood. Ezekiel 39. No, Kobe, don't say that though, man. You adding. Nope. Ezekiel 39. Pick it up at verse 17.
Ezekiel 39 and 17. And you, son of man, thus saith the master Yahuwah, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice.
To what?
To my sacrifice.
Go ahead.
That I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood.
That you may do what?
Eat flesh and drink blood.
That you may eat flesh and drink blood. Keep going. What verse you at?
18.
Okay, read.
You shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan. And you shall eat fat till you be full, and drink blood till you be drunken of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. Thus you shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith Yahuwah Elohim. And I will set my esteem among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them.
My what?
My hand that I have laid upon them.
My hand that I have laid upon them. Who is the hand of the Most High? Right? So my hand that I have laid upon you, the same one you rejected is going to be laid upon you. Revelations 19 and 17. It's going to make sense in a minute.
Hey.
Revelation 19, 17.
The book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 17. And I saw a Malach standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of Shamayim, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that you may eat the flesh of the kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men.
Second witness, same thing Ezekiel was talking about. Read.
And the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him.
Stop right there. So we got the same thing that Ezekiel was talking about. The fowls and the feathers come and gather yourself to this great supper so that you may eat blood and eat flesh, the whole nine, right? Revelations 14:20. So wine would be symbolic of what?
Blood.
Blood. All right. Keep going. Revelations 14:20.
Revelations 14 and 20. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and the blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles.
So wine is symbolic of what?
Blood.
How do you make wine?
Stomp it out.
Stomp it out, right? Step on it, right? Isaiah 63. Pick it up at verse 1. So you got to get grapes and step on them and crush them, right? In order to make wine. Yep, verse 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 63 and verse 1. Who is this that comes from Edom?
Come from where?
From Edom.
Oh, that must be America. No, it's Edom. Go ahead.
Who is this that come from Edom? With dyed garments from Bozrah.
What kind of garments?
Dyed garments from Bozrah.
Genesis 49 already told us about how you're going to wash his garments in grapes, right? Read.
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore are you red in your apparel, and your garments like him that treads in a wine vat?
Him that treads the wine fat. Read.
I have trodden the winepress alone.
What does trodden mean? Step on, right? He said, I trot in the wine press alone. Read.
And of the people there was none with me.
Wait a minute. So he's not on grapes, but he's doing this to who?
People.
To people, right? So he's crushing these people, getting their blood on his garment. Read.
For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Nasty sight right here. You can just kind of picture it in your mind. These people is grapes, and he's stomping them, staining all his raiment, right? So how you get blood again? Wine again? You got to do what to the grape? Step on it and crush it, right? But the Messiah said, "Drink my blood," right? Isaiah 53 and 5. Got to crush it, right?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquity.
He was what?
Bruised for our iniquity.
He was bruised or crushed for our iniquity, right? Didn't these people do something terrible to him? Beat him, had him bleeding the whole nine. Read.
The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed.
With his what?
Stripes we are healed.
With his stripes we are healed. So we see how this blood and this wine and all these things tie in, right? It's real symbolic, but it all is gonna make sense in a minute, because he is after the order of who? Melchisedec, right? Give me Hebrews 8 and 1.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 1. Now, of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest, who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the Shamaim, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle, which the master pitched, and not man. For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices, wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer. For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest.
So if he was on earth, he wouldn't be a priest, because Aaron's son is the priest on earth, right? Read.
Seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law, who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of Yah when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, says he, that you make all things according to the pattern shown in you in the mount. But now have he obtained a more excellent ministry.
A more what?
A more excellent ministry.
Go ahead.
By how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
Of a what?
Of a better covenant.
Of a better covenant, because he's after the covenant or the order of who?
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek. Get me Genesis 14 and 18. Genesis 14, 18.
Genesis 14 and 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine.
He did what?
Brought forth bread and wine.
So if he after the order of Melchizedek, Melchizedek brought what?
Bread and wine.
He brought bread and wine. Mashiach offered his own self up as the bread and wine, because he got to follow the order of who? So this is why he was offering the bread and the wine. He offered himself up as the bread and the wine. Woo! The book is too deep. So I had a lot more, but since the event took place earlier, we'll stop there. No, that's that. Like I said, I had different sections of it.
That was still good evening, brother.
All praises to God. But any questions? Anything?
So, okay, question. So like how these churches doing it, is that, can you do it symbolically like that, or is that out of order with them being bread and wine? Is that out of order?
You mean like the communion and all that?
Communion, yeah. Is that out of order?
I don't think.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think that it's like the way that we used to do it in church, right? What was it? First Sunday or something like that? Well, it don't necessarily disclose in the book that we're supposed to do it at any given time, but it says, as often as you do this in remembrance of me. In my opinion, I felt like he meant as far as like breaking bread and supping together with family. As often as you do this in remembrance of me.
Right.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, the bread and wine is all
wine
through
is
the
good for the belly.
in moderation.
Yeah. Moderation.
That are eating raw meat or rare, there's blood, that's against the Most High, right?
Absolutely.
You gotta cook that joint.
That's why he wasn't saying to eat blood, you know what I'm saying, like they're trying to make him out to be, but definitely, you're not supposed to do that. Take every measure to get all blood out as much as possible.
Even the scriptures that he hit that was talking about eating blood was still speaking metaphorically, talking about basically like death and disaster. Like they're gonna eat the blood of the enemies, and I mean drink the blood of the enemies and eat, but basically talking about devouring, metaphorically those that oppose.
Anything else?
What you got, man? What you got?
No, because I was in and out putting the baby to sleep, and I kind of, you know what I'm saying, grasp the majority of it, but, I was in and out. So just to get, like, a brief summary or conclusion of what this message was, to put a cap on. I got the note, I got to read over, you know what I'm saying? So what exactly was the message in depth, like concluded?
Basically, again, if most people would study the law, a lot of if you don't know the law, you're definitely not going to understand what the Messiah is talking about.
Right.
And you're definitely not going to understand what Paul is talking about if you don't know the law. So one of the places that a lot of the Old Testament only cats go to say that the Messiah is false, they go to the last quote unquote supper, right? And they'll say that he's saying to eat my flesh and to drink my blood. But he's saying it in a metaphorical way. But they'll take that and then they'll come to the law and say, see, the law says that you're not supposed to eat blood and drink blood, and he's saying this. That's why you know, right? But it's not a contradiction if they would just take the time to try to understand the law. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of the misconceptions because it's a gang of them that they go to. You know what I'm saying? Especially Paul. So
That it?
yes, that's it. Shalioso.